Alzheimer's disease and related dementia present a fast-growing health crisis in our country. Experts suggest that as many as 5.1 million Americans aged 65 and older may suffer from Alzheimer's disease, with annual costs estimated to exceed $100 billion. With age as the biggest risk factor for Alzheimer's disease, cases could triple by 2050 if interventions are not found. Alzheimer's disease is a degenerative disorder that attacks the brain's nerve cells, resulting in a decline in cognitive function. 6 out of 10 people with Alzheimer's disease may wander away from their homes and caregivers or get lost, presenting unique challenges to law enforcement. This video will present scenarios designed to help you recognize and respond to the behavior of people with Alzheimer's disease. We'll share best practices for working with these individuals, their families, and caregivers, along with proven search and rescue protocols.
So they say it's the best seafood restaurant in town, and it's cheap.
You're taking me someplace cheap?
No, I'm taking you someplace good. Hey, watch it! Are you blind?
Juliet King 16.
I'm gonna be late. Where is it?
Sir, do you know you ran a red light back here?
I'm looking for my sister's house.
Sir, you ran a red light and you almost hit 2 people back here. I need to see your license and registration.
I don't have time for this. I'm gonna be late.
Sir, I need to see your license and registration, please.
My sister, she's expecting me. She lives on Forest Hill.
That guy almost killed me.
Sir, I need you to step back. Sir, you're going the wrong way. Forest Hills is back this way.
No, it's right where it's always been, right down there.
Sir, why don't you shut your car off and step back here and speak to me? Sir. Sir, I need you to shut your car off and come back here and talk to me. Okay, sir. Why don't you come right back here? Right in the back here. Okay. Do you have your license with you? Are you Calvin Sands?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sands, can you tell me again where you were trying to go?
To the lunch at Karen's.
Okay, who's Karen? Is she a relative of yours?
Yes, sir, my sister.
Okay. Can you tell me what today's date is?
What?
Can you tell me what today's date is?
With any traffic stop, when you're asking the occupant and the driver questions, you can tell if something's not right.
So it's through our questioning that we have to determine if it's a medical problem, a mental problem, if they're impaired for any number of reasons.
If you think the person that you stop may possibly have Alzheimer's or dementia, you want to ask simple questions such as, do they know the date? Do they know the time?
Can you tell me the day of the week?
He's drunk.
Sir, I asked you to step back.
That man does not need to be behind the wheel of a car.
Let's go, Todd.
He's a menace.
I'm not going to tell you again. You need to step back.
I can't find my sister's house.
Do you know your sister's phone number? Maybe we can give her a call.
Once they've determined that they've been stopped, they'll just start giving you the same answer. You explain to them the reason why you're stopping them, but they just keep telling you the same thing, such as, I'm trying to go to my daughter's house.
You know her address?
What do you have there, a locator device? Just give me a second, all right? Item 14 from Basin. Can you send FD to this location for an evaluation, please? Mr. Sands, we're going to help you find Karen.
Okay.
We'll do what we can at the scene, provide the medical attention, get the person home, follow up with family.
Cal, are you okay?
I'm sorry I'm late.
It's important to write a citation for the violation to create a paper trail in case that the person's license needs to be suspended.
In Massachusetts, we have a immediate threat form that we file with the Registry of Motor Vehicle that suspends the license of the operator until there can be a medical screen to make sure they can safely operate a vehicle. And we also have an extensive database in our in-house computer system, so in our dealings in the future, the officers on the road will be aware of the patient's condition as soon as they roll up on scene.
Hello?
Is Grandmom with you?
No, she's at home. Where are you?
I'm at home. She's not here.
When did you get there?
I just got here. Practice ran late.
I told you to let me know if you were running late.
I'm sorry, my battery died so I couldn't call.
Okay, so she could have been gone for over an hour. Call 911. I'm coming right home.
Okay. I took a picture of Grandma last week. I have it on my phone.
Okay, would you email it to my email address?
And how long has she been missing?
I don't know, an hour, maybe more by now.
Does she have access to a car?
No. Her car's in the garage and I keep the keys hidden.
Has she gone missing before?
Yes, a couple of times, but she usually just walks around the neighborhood.
We interview the granddaughter and the daughter at the same time because it's more comfortable for the daughter to be around mom when she's being interviewed by the police. If this investigation continued and the search wasn't successfully concluded quickly, we may need to have a detective go back and interview them both separately.
Does she suffer from diabetes or seizures?
No, just the dementia.
And how long has she lived here, and was she living anywhere else prior to here?
About 2 years. She was living in Northern Virginia before.
And does she understand who she is?
Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. It changes by the hour, and she just shuts down when she gets scared.
Does she believe she's living in a certain time period of her life right now?
Sometimes she thinks it's the 50s when she was still in Korea.
Does she do any activities on her own?
Not around here. She never goes out without one of us.
Okay.
The first officers on the scene are crucially important because they have to collect all the information that did not come in through the 911 call and rebroadcast it to the officers that are responding. If they don't get that information out in a timely fashion, the officers that are responding may drive right past the victim, and we don't even know it.
Obtaining information about the person's past, their wandering history, is very important for the searchers to have that information, to pass that information on to other patrol officers so that we can conduct an effective search and locate this person.
Is that really necessary? I've already checked the house. She's not here.
I understand, ma'am. This is standard procedure, and you would be surprised how many times we find people hiding in their own homes.
Because the window in the person's brain may open at a time when they were much younger, it's not uncommon to find an 80-year-old that wants to play hide and go seek and hide in a closet.
Section 9 Adam 28, be advised, command post has been set up over East Park.
We've set up the command post over at the park so that if your mom were to return home, she wouldn't be scared by all the police officers in the driveway.
A lot of times, the victim won't wander far from where they were, whether it be an obstacle that stops them or they just get tired. So it's important to check that 500-meter area directly around where they were last seen.
Is everybody clear on your assignments? Okay, this is going to conclude the briefing. Just make sure you check your gear before you head out.
In Montgomery County, when responding to a missing persons case, search managers come up with several scenarios. This is based on experience and the interview with the family, and this helps us to deploy our resources efficiently.
Ed,
Yeah.
I'm going to have you take the family back home.
Okay.
That way, if your mom returns, somebody's there for her.
Okay.
The initial phases of a search, we bring in a bloodhound. We also have at our disposal volunteer search resources with air scent dogs and tracking dogs. We have off-road vehicles and air support available if needed. Quite often somebody actually defies their age. They walk a lot farther than would be expected.
Here in Montgomery County, we have mass transit, and it will swallow someone up and spit them out somewhere completely outside of your search area.
Mrs. Kim? Are you Mrs. Kim?
Yes? I'm Officer Reyes. I'm here to help you.
Miss Kim stops in the drainage tunnel. To her, she sees that as a natural barrier. She doesn't try to turn around even though she could come back to a very easy place. She just sits down and that's where she'll stay.
Do I know you? I'm your neighbor. I know your daughter.
Natural barriers are huge. They provide both a form of containment for the person and a threat to their safety.
Mom, you okay? You had us so worried.
We usually take our victims of dementia and we put the families onto our Project Lifesaver coordinator.
Our Project Lifesaver representative has contact with the Alzheimer's Association and can, in appropriate cases, have the person enrolled in the Project Lifesaver program, which helps to track wandering individuals.
Larry! 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 Oh my God, Larry! Hello, my name is Eloise Duncan. I live at 2516 Chamonix Lane. My husband Larry has Alzheimer's. He's taken the car and he's missing. Yes.
Male Alzheimer's patients tend to drive more frequently and become lost more frequently as compared to female Alzheimer's patients.
Which makes it more imperative to try and find them more quickly because obviously they can go further in a vehicle versus somewhere on foot.
How long has your husband been missing?
Oh, 2 to 3 hours. He left while I was sleeping, took the car, left without taking his pills.
Do you happen to have a recent photo?
Yes, our daughter took this one a couple weeks ago.
Okay, good, that'll be helpful.
Oh, all week he's been singing that old jingle, "See the USA in your Chevrolet," talking about that cross-country road trip that we took when we were newlyweds. Oh, I should have known. It's all my fault.
I know you're worried, but it's not your fault, and we're gonna do everything we can to get your husband back safely.
Thank you.
Is there someone that we could call to wait with you while we do the search?
No, our children live in another state.
What about someone from the local chapter of the Alzheimer's Association? Would that make you more comfortable?
Okay, yes, thank you.
Excuse me, Katie. I searched the house and he's not in here.
Is there anything about his condition that's a threat to his well-being or health?
Well, last time he was lost, he sprained his wrist and his ankle. And now his memory is so bad. There's no way he should be driving that car. I'm so worried he's gonna hurt himself or someone else.
Excuse me, Miss Duncan. Do you know how much gas is in the car?
Oh, I think about half a tank.
You said he hadn't taken his medication today. What is he being treated for exactly?
Heart condition, high blood pressure, diabetes.
And is he enrolled in Medic Alert?
No, I wanted him to, but he refused. Sometimes he can be so stubborn.
Okay. Let's go ahead and bolo the information to surrounding agencies.
213, can you copy updated information on the missing person?
213, go ahead.
It's going to be a white male, 65 years old, first of Larry, last of Duncan. He's wearing a black shirt, blue jeans.
White tennis shoes, driving a white Hyundai sedan with a half a tank of gas. License plate is 896 Robert Mary Nora. Again, that's 896 Robert.
And once our dispatch center communicates with other dispatch centers, that information gets put out in 10 minutes throughout the state. So we have the whole state as resources if we need it.
We would also utilize our variable message signs since we do have the interstate running through. We would also consider releasing information to the media in terms of a missing person with the emphasis that the person has Alzheimer's condition. Our area, we have temperature extremes, so it's important to respond quickly to these types of calls to have a positive outcome.
Hi, yes, I think I saw the gentleman that was on the alert this afternoon. We're on Bighorn Road at the trailhead.
Vale Police Department. Sir, I'm Bill Clausen with the Vale Police Department. Are you Mr. Duncan?
People with Alzheimer's tend to drive until their vehicle runs out of fuel. They become very disoriented. They lose track of where they are.
Are you Mr. Duncan?
Yes.
Is there a problem with your car today?
I don't know. I was heading home and the engine just stopped.
Would you step out of the car for me, please, sir? Sir, would you step out of the car for me, please?
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Do you have your driver's license or some form of identification with you today?
I was going to the store to get bread. I don't know where my wallet is.
I'll go ahead and call a tow truck for your car. Would you like me to give you a ride back to the police department in my car?
Oh, thanks.
Okay, let's go ahead and walk on back here.
Obviously, once someone goes missing and is found, it's a huge relief to the family, but it's also kind of a reality check.
Persons with dementia, Alzheimer's, they forgot that they don't have a license. They will still get in a car and drive. So it's up to the caregivers in relation to ensure that they don't have access to the vehicle. Hiding the keys, putting the keys in a different spot.
We've learned that Alzheimer's does progress, sometimes pretty rapidly, and so you have to change your approaches and your tactics to dealing with those patients.
Houston Police Department Missing Persons Division, Officer Hall.
When the initial call comes into the police department, we want a clear and good description of the missing person, a good clothing description.
Okay, what was he last wearing?
Whether their clothing is weather appropriate. We're also wanting to know if they're on any medications, when the last time they took that medication, as well as when they're due for their next medication.
Do you know if they took the medication today?
And as the call's coming in and we're receiving the information that the person has Alzheimer's disease, that this is an endangered missing person, we're starting to assign another officer to do a critical release, possibly even a media release, and getting the information out to other law enforcement agencies, getting information out to hospitals, getting information out to the public to let them know that this person is missing. Many times when we arrive, we're 10 steps closer to locating this person. He was reported wearing white shirt, blue jeans. A lot of times people with Alzheimer's will be talking about things in the past. So if they're talking about going to work and they haven't worked in 10 years, we want to know maybe where they lived during that time, where they used to work during that time. Did they live at this location?
No, we lived in Clear Lake.
So we'll simultaneously start sending officers to those locations. We want to be careful and talk with the caregiver and get as much information from them, but do it in a manner that is going to be comforting to them as well.
Typically, a CIT officer and the mental health professional are going to ask the family members questions to help determine what state of mind the person was in at the time of missing.
How's his sleeping and eating habits?
They can also determine whether that person has ever been seen in the county hospital system and has a diagnosis of dementia, which is a vital component of our Silver Alert system. We have to have a medical diagnosis of a person over 65 with dementia to get the Silver Alert placed on the freeway signs that are on the side of the freeway.
We know that people with Alzheimer's have issues with cognitive mapping, and they would quite possibly get lost in a small room, closet, and not know how to get out. So it's critical that we not only check the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the open areas, but also the closets, the pantries, attics, and the tightest of areas where a person could fit. When the search moves outside the house, we're going to start at one point and work our way around the house, looking through the shrubs, around trees, obstacles. If there's a pool, we want to look in the pool and make sure we can see the bottom of the pool, and then continue from there outward into the neighborhood.
Good morning. We'll pass out flyers
to any resource we can use. More eyes out there that we can have, the better.
Civilian search groups are critical in searching for people with Alzheimer's. As we know, law enforcement resources as far as personnel are limited. We called in Tim Miller with EquiSearch. He's providing 40 civilian searchers. He's bringing in 10 ATVs. We can call upon the community to help us. They can pass out flyers.
How you doing? Good. When y'all are driving around there, if you can go ahead and keep your eyes out for them.
Many search organizations have four-wheelers, horseback. Some of them have accessibility to aircraft, and all those resources add to what we already have and can enhance our ability to locate this person safely.
The command center is never set next to the house. For reasons we don't want the media where the family's at. We want a little privacy, a little separation.
74 years old. He is diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease.
When working with volunteers, it's important that the incident commander hold a meeting before any search to let everybody know basically what they're going to be doing and what to be aware of. The officers and the Texas EquiSearch, we need to line up and we'll do a grid search. When we're walking throughout the neighborhood and there's paths and trails possibly, we're paying special attention 10 to 15 feet outside that trail because we know most people with Alzheimer's are located within that distance. When searching a field, you want to keep in mind that there could be depressions in the ground where there could be bodies of water that you can't see from one location. So it is critical to line up all your searchers about an arm or two lengths apart and walk the entire field, and we can mark it off our list as places to search. The use of the ATVs and the bicycles and the mounted patrol are very important because they can cover a large area in a very quick amount of time and get a higher perspective. And so if there's higher bushes, they can look into those bushes and have a better advantage than somebody close to the ground. While we're searching, we also need to watch out and take note of natural barriers, that whether it's a road, a bayou, it could be a bridge. Typically with people with Alzheimer's, they get to a barrier and either they're going to stop at the barrier